Hi, hope you're having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm going to ranking the top 10 Eternal scenes from worst to best. And yeah, this is gonna include spoilers. So spoiler warning: if you haven't seen the movie, then please click out. Please click out. And if you have or you don't care for spoilers, then enjoy the video. I think this video is gonna be very fun to make. This is my opinion, obviously, so keep in mind this is my opinion. But I'm just gonna ranking the scenes from worst to best from my favorite scenes. So the top 10 scenes or my favorite scenes, whatever you want to call it. And just talk about spoilers because I actually really enjoyed the movie and I just want to talk about it a lot. So this is my second video of Eternals that I'm making. If you want to check out my first one, go ahead and check it out. It's in my channel. I'll leave the link down in the comments or in the description. But yeah, let's talk about it. I'm very hyped to talk about it. So yeah, but before I get started, please make sure to leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It would be very helpful. So please leave a like. It really helps our videos. So please and thank you. Also subscribe for more Eternals content. Like I said, I already have an Eternals video up, and I have another one going either tomorrow or after tomorrow. So definitely subscribe for more Eternals content that I'm sure you enjoy. Also, make sure to comment down below on what were your top 10 scenes from Eternals, or at least your favorite scenes from Eternals, as well as what do you think about the movie? Did you like it? Did you dislike it? I know opinions are all over the place, so I just want to know your thoughts. Okay, now let's get started. Okay, so starting with the number 10 scene from the movie, which is good enough to be in the top 10, but it's not that good to the point where it's at the very bottom, but still good enough to be in the top 10. And this scene is whenever Arishan tells Sersi the truth, and the true mission and how they were created and everything. Whenever Arishan tells Sersi that the true mission was to like bring the population of Earth really huge, and then so that way the emergence can happen and a new Celestial can be born. So yeah, that's my number 10 scene. The reason why it's right here is because the scene showed like the grand scope. I mean, a huge scope of the MCU, a huge scope of the story, which I really enjoyed. That's something that really captured my attention while I was in the movie. Just the grand scope of this story, to be honest. The great power there is, an actual Celestial there in the screen. You see the massive giant body of him, like it's crazy and everything. So that was really cool, really awesome. And just to see like the Eternal compared to the Celestial is like, whoa, that's a big difference. He is really powerful. You do not want to mess with him. Also, just finding out what the movie is actually about, like the actual true mission. You give us a ticking clock for an actual, like, okay, we got to do this now or never. And I just thought that was great. You find out like a little bit more about how the sexes are being born and everything. So I thought that was great and everything. But the big problem is that it was just a big exposition dump, and it wasn't done in a creative way where like at least they were like showing stuff happen or stuff. They kind of did a little bit, but it just I don't think it worked. I think it was just like the Irishman just telling the audience what's going on, which is not a very creative way to give exposition to an audience. Usually you want to give exposition by showing or just by any other thing than just talk and just saying it plain out loud. So that was my big problem with it. I was like, oh, they're just like straight up just saying it, and it was a good long scene. It was like 10 minutes of just exposition coming at you. So that's something I didn't like, which is it's why it's in the bottom of my list. But it was still good enough with the grand scope of it and just seeing the Celestial on screen, which was awesome in the big giant theater, to the point where I would put it in my top 10. So yeah, that was my number 10. Okay, so now let's move on to my number 9 scene, and that is reuniting with Kingo. And this scene was really good, which is whenever Kingo is like filming his movie, and he does the smudgery look, and he's dancing and everything, and then he sees his team, and then they go backstage and everything, and then they tell him Ayak is dead and that type of stuff. Yeah, I thought that scene was really cool, really funny, and really memorable from the scene, from the movie. It really just stuck out from the movie, something I remember whenever I came out theater, and I was like, oh, I really enjoyed that scene. So clearly that scene did its job. It was very funny, very funny. I thought Kingo doing those faces at the start with like the smudgery look was really funny, and Kingo as a whole, I thought his character was really funny, and that scene portrayed that very well. It really had a great comedy, but also had its emotion with him receiving the news that Ajak is dead and everything. So it had emotion. It had a very good comedy for me, and as someone who really appreciates filmmaking and all that type of stuff, I just really enjoyed seeing the behind the scenes of it and everything. I thought that was really cool. Also the gag whenever he's like, "You like my suit? It's you," from like Ikaris, obviously. Very funny. I thought it was very funny. And we got introduced to the camera guy, or his personal assistant, whatever you want to call him, which was great because I really liked that guy. So it was just a really good scene. I really enjoyed it, and that's why it's my number 9 scene. It wasn't super important to the plot or anything, which is why it's not higher, but it was still good enough. It was really memorable, and it was really funny. So my number 9 scene. Okay, let's move on to my number 8 scene, and that is Thena versus the Eternals, which is like in a flashback or in the past, whenever Thena first has her mad weary. I think that's what it's called. The anger issues that she had because of her memory, and that scene was pretty good. It was pretty short, but it was pretty good. I really enjoyed seeing Thena fight all the Eternals, especially against Makkari. Makkari is my favorite character, BTY, or by the other way. I thought she really is my favorite character. I love her super speed. So just seeing her fight in any scene was incredible, and seeing her fight against Thena was no exception. It was really really cool, and just the way that Thena used her sword to make Makkari run into her sword was really really awesome, and just a really cool scene. I really enjoyed that scene, just seeing them fight, seeing Ikaris fight Thena, seeing everybody fight Thena was really really cool. Seeing Gilgamesh overpower Thena and everything, I thought that was all awesome, all great, and it was just great stuff. I was like, yeah, this is an amazing fight. I really enjoyed this. Thena's clearly very very strong, like wow, and we got introduced to this new concept in the movie, so very important as well. And yeah, it was just a good scene, and I was like all down for it, and I just really enjoyed it. I just like I also think the movie needed a little bit of action in that moment, so it gave us a perfect amount of action for that moment. Not a lot, but it gave us a good action scene, and I really enjoyed it. So good scene, kudos to that scene, really enjoyable. Okay, moving on to my number 7 scene, and that is whenever the deviants come back, or at least it's just one deviant at that time. And that's whenever Sersi, Sprite, and I forgot the guy, the Black Knight, I forgot his name. Whenever they're walking along the water, and then the deviant comes out of the water and everything, and they surprise it. And then Sersi uses her powers and makes the concrete kind of like sand, like I forgot what it was, like sand, and then like the demon just starts like going sinking down, and then she makes it hard and everything, and all that. The whole fight scene was really really cool. I really enjoyed that because we got to see modern day superpowers, and I mean we got to see how they would use it in this situation, and we actually got to see the most Sersi uses her powers into the very end of the movie. So we got that at least. We got to see the introduction to like this one guy that doesn't know anything about it. It's like, oh cool. Also like Sprite used her powers really really well. Kind of like a Loki ripoff, to be honest. Just saying, Marvel, I'm watching you. Don't disrespect Loki. But whenever she makes like a bunch of versions of herself and Sersi, and she confuses the deviant, that was pretty fun. That was pretty cool. Still, very big Loki ripoff. Just saying, Marvel. And then whenever Ikaris comes in and everything, and then he gets thrown to the shop, and he comes out with the neon lights in the bag being blue. It just looked like a really really cool scene, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good fight scene. It was longer than the past fight scene that I mentioned as my number 8 spot, which is why it's higher and everything. And I just thought it was a good introduction to bringing back the characters back together, starting the plot to move forward from the present day. And yeah, really good. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was great. Okay, moving on to my next scene, and this is the 6th scene, and I really enjoyed this scene, so we're starting to get to the good scenes, like the really good scenes. So this is the 6th place, and that is the opening fight scene, which I thought was really, really, really good. I really enjoyed that opening fight scene. As soon as they get to Earth, as soon as the Eternals get to Earth and they start fighting with the Deviants, great fight scene. I really enjoyed it. They really worked as a team very, very well. It reminded me a lot of Zack Snyder's Justice League, which is my favorite movie so far of this year. So it reminded me of that a lot, so that was cool to that. It was really really well done, and just seeing everybody use their powers for the first time on the big screen, obviously I thought it was a really great experience. Seeing Ikaris fight these deviants, seeing Gilgamesh use his super strength to punch them, seeing Thena really use the swords really really well, chopping out things, stabbing it through the top of his throat all the way down. It was really really cool. Seeing Makkari, remember I said Makkari really love her superpowers. Seeing Makkari use her super speed as like waves to trip the deviant was super awesome, super creative. I never seen that done in live action, so super original as well. And I just really thought that was awesome. I was like, that's an awesome move, that's a boss move, respecting that, already loving this character. So that was great, and I just really thought that team would work really well. Like I said, really felt like a team effort. I think everybody did a good job on that, and I just really enjoyed that scene. So great introduction, great opening fight scene, and great way to give us a team dynamic that I think worked throughout the whole movie. So great, I really enjoyed that fight scene very much. So great opening fight scene. Okay, moving on to my number 5th favorite scene, and that is the dinner scene between all the Eternals. Well, not all of them, some of them were still missing, but between most of the Eternals. And that's whenever they go back and they go back to recruit Thena and Gilgamesh. And they have like this, I'm not sure if it's a dinner scene now I think about it. It might be a lunch scene. But whenever they're just eating, that was such a fun scene. It was really funny. It had emotion. It had heart. It had banter and everything. I thought it was really funny. It had a lot of bonding time as well. So I really enjoyed it. For example, the joke whenever Sprite makes what's it called, Gilgamesh, a little dressed like a baby, and he's like, I'm a big baby. That was really really funny. It cracked me up. Whenever they're talking about who's gonna lead the Avengers now, really funny as well. Whenever they say that about the beer, like they didn't get Sprite the actual dope beer, funny as well. You see all this type of stuff I thought was really funny. The banter was really funny. Seeing these characters just interact with each other was great. I really enjoyed that. And then seeing more of the camera guy, the camera guy, seeing him to record the documentary was really, really funny as well. And I just love that camera guy. We got to see a lot more of him in that scene, and he was great. I love him. He's so nice. He's so cool. He's really dumb sometimes. He's really funny. Like, he was the funniest one in the movie for me. And yeah, really enjoyed that. Really great. Really great. And yeah, I just thought the whole scene worked really well. The dynamic works really well. Like I said, all the dialogue between them worked amazingly well. So yeah, this is a scene that could have very easily been messed up by bad dialogue or by bad banter, but no, it worked really well, and it just helped make the team feel very real and everything. So great scene, another amazing scene. That's why it's my number 5th scene. Okay, moving on to my number 4th scene, and we're starting to get to big competition here. These top 4 scenes I absolutely adore. They're some of my favorite scenes in the MCU. So my number 4th scene is a division of the Eternals. Whenever they see like a war happening, and then Druig stops it and everything, I thought that scene was so incredible, so great, and it was just amazing. Because you see the war happening, and the and the Eternals are just there watching, and Druig can't let that happen. He's just like, I can stop this whole conflict if I wanted to with just a thought. Like, he can brain controls people, and that's true. I was like, yeah, he really can, and I just enjoyed that he did it. He was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. If you want to stop me, you can kill me, whatever, but I'm gonna stop this conflict. I'm not gonna let this happen. You know what I mean? And you see, like, he has actually pretty good points. He's telling Phastos, if it wasn't because of you, this would have never happened. You're helping them advance and create weapons and all that type of stuff. And I thought he had great points. And I was like, yep, he's right. This is a really cool argument. And I can see both sides. I see Phastos, like, yeah, they had to advance. They had to get better at this. But I see Druig's, I'm sorry, I really suck at saying his name, by saying, yeah, it's your fault. They're killing each other because of your fault. And he sees his mission as a mistake. He's the first one to see the mission as a mistake. Later on, more Eternals see that. But I thought that was great. I was like, yep, love this character already, loving his viewpoints, loving the philosophical questions that this movie is already asking. And I thought it was great. I thought there was a great scene. The Ikaris, kind of like really bad blood with Druig, was also really cool. And I was like, oh, it's getting good, it's getting good, it's getting good. So the whole scene was really cool. And the cinematography in that scene was incredible. Whenever you see Druig looking at the burning city, I guess I think it was a city, looking at the burning city just there burning, and he's like right there, you see his outline, and it was a really cool shot and everything. So I thought that was great. And then you see him controlling everybody with the burning city in the background and everything. Really great stuff right there. So really awesome, an amazing scene. Like I said, amazing philosophical questions, and one of my favorite scenes in the MCU. Okay, moving on to 3rd place, and it's a really, really good scene, like really incredible scene, and that is the betrayal scene. Whenever we learn what Ikaris actually did, you know what I mean? Whenever we go back in flashback to what Ikaris already knew, like he was like, oh, I already know about the Emergence because, Ajak told him that, and I was like, oh, that actually makes a very interesting point. That was like, oh, you know what? That would make sense. Maybe she would tell somebody else, and she would tell the person that she's closest to, which was Ikaris. And I thought that was really, really cool, really, really awesome. And then, he has such strong faith on Ashimer. I think that's how you say it. I might be completely wrong. But Arishem, that it is. Arishem. But he has such strong faith in him that he can't let Ajak tries to stop the Emergence, and he betrays her. And I was like, wow, this is really powerful stuff. Like, I can't believe this is actually happening. You know what I mean? And he throws her down the pit with the deviants, and the way she still tries to fight and everything was awesome. The way that she gives him a hug before he throws her, also really awesome, really great stuff. It really showed that Ajak really did care about the Eternals, and that actually made the character a lot more likable for me and everything. And it was just like a great plot twist to add to the movie and make it more interesting, which I really, really enjoyed. It also just made what is it called? Ikaris so much clearer as a character. You understand why he left Sersi now. You understand why he's been quiet throughout the whole movie and everything. And I thought he was really, really cool. I was like, that just added so much layers to this character, and I absolutely love it. Like, love it. I love whenever a scene can add layers to a character, and that was one of the scenes where he added layers to the character. And then whenever he brings back Ajak's body and he lands it on the ground, and then he shoots lasers from his eyes and burns the grass, and just see like fire popping out as her body's laying there. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Amazing cinematographer, as I said, from, I don't know who the cinematographer is, but whoever did cinematography, amazing cinematography, amazing directing, and amazing acting from Ikaris. And like I said, just really added so much layers to Ikaris, which made him so much more interesting and made the movie itself a lot more interesting. So, great scene, and just absolutely adored that scene. Okay, moving on to the second spot, and that's another great scene, and that is the fight scene in the forest. This was almost my first scene, but I'll tell you why my first scene was number one. But this was still a great scene. I mean, wow, the forest fight scene was incredible. It felt very real. It felt very like nasty. It felt like very grounded. Like every punch, you could feel it. Every laser shot, you could feel it. Every shot that Kingo did with his pistol hands was, you could feel it. You know what I mean? And I thought everything was so well done. Whenever Druig I read. Whenever Druig was mind controlling those people with the shotguns and he was making them shoot, awesome stuff. It just looked very visually cool, very visually awesome. Whenever Sersi turned that deviant into a tree, awesome stuff right there. Gilgamesh versus that huge deviant, amazing. And his death scene was really tragic. I was like, no, Gilgamesh, you were so good, don't die on me. No, you were so likable. So it was a really good death scene as well. I thought he died very well. He definitely put up a fight. Like, wow, he put up a really good fight. Ikaris just beating the crap out of those flying deviants was also really awesome. I was like, that's super cool. And then whenever Kingo does that shot, the headshot, whenever he goes under the deviant and then he just shoots him from the top, awesome. And then you see him saying like, did you get that on camera? Which is really funny to me. I was like, that was a funny joke. The illusions and everything, it was just like another, like the improved version of the first fight scene where not everything's going perfect. It's a lot harder to beat them. It's a lot more real and everything. I thought it was really awesome. Whenever the deviant is like grabbing onto Ikaris and he's just going like this to his face and everything, and he's really trying to shoot those lasers, but the demon keeps going like that. Amazing stuff. I just thought all that stuff was really powerful and everything, and I just really enjoyed that scene. So yeah, the forest fight scene, amazing, and that's why it's second place. And for my number one scene from Eternals, and I think everybody saw it coming, or at least you knew it was going to be in top 3, and that is the Eternals versus Ikaris, which is an amazing scene. I mean, wow, just a great idea itself. I mean, sure, it's more evil Superman, but still, it was great. I really enjoyed it. I thought that was really awesome of a fight scene. Seeing all the Eternals use their full abilities to it, seeing Phastos versus Ikaris was so cool. I was like, Phastos, you're a boss. He was really cool, really awesome. But especially, I mean, for me, the highlight of that fight scene was Makkari versus Ikaris. I mean, wow. I could not believe what I was seeing. It looked incredible. The way like he was shooting lasers to her, and she just dodged, and then just punched into through the wall and everything. I was like, bro, Makkari is amazing. I mean, her super speed is just incredible. It's off the charts, and that's why I actually put this fight scene over the second fight scene, and that's because the forest fight scene didn't have Makkari since we hadn't gotten to her yet, and this fight scene does. So that's why I put it into her, because I just absolutely love how they used her superpowers or her super speed in this movie, and this scene is mostly why. I mean, the way that she just fought Ikaris was incredible. The way she punched him a bunch of times, the way that she, like I said, the way that she just threw him through the wall. I just felt the power of her super speed. I was like, this girl is super powerful. I was like, I want to see a whole spin-off show of just her using her super speed against the strongest villains, because it would be so cool and everything. And then Ikaris is also really strong. I was like, Ikaris is super strong. He just fought everything very well. Seeing Phastos, like I said, he was a total boss. Seeing Thena versus Ikaris was also really awesome. I was like, I wanted to see this fighting super bad, and it really was delivered. It really delivered really well. I was like, yeah, that's really cool. And then whenever Ikaris has to make the choice of either killing Sersi or not, and he's fighting with his own lightsaber, what's it called? Laser eyes. And he's fighting with his own laser eyes. Looks really awesome. And also the way just Ikaris flies looks very elegant and everything. And the way that he just shoots his lasers, since they're golden, they look really elegant as well. So that adds points to the fight scene. The location looked really beautiful as well and everything. So it was just a great fight scene overall. I thought it was incredible. That's incredibly done. Obviously, what sold it for me was Makkari versus Ikaris. Just saying. Super cool fighting. I mean, I need to see more of that for sure. Please give Makkari her own show or something, please. But yeah, really incredible stuff, and I just absolutely adored that fight scene. So yeah, that was my number one spot. And yeah, tell me what you would rank these scenes, where you would rank the scenes. Tell me what your favorite scene from the movie is, or tell me your top 3, or you can tell me your whole top 10. I don't care, but make sure to tell me that down in the comments. I'm definitely gonna read it. I'm definitely gonna respond to it and everything. Or tell me which one of these my own opinions you don't agree with, or you do agree with. Obviously, in a healthy manner. Don't get toxic or nothing. But you can make sure to tell me that down in the comments. I'll definitely, like I said, make sure to respond and everything. So make sure to tell me that down in the comments. I'm very curious to hear people's opinions and everything. So go ahead, talk spoilers in the comments. Like I said, spoiler is a spoiler talk and everything. So go ahead and just have fun talking about the movie. I'm really enjoying having fun myself talking about the movie in videos, and I want you to have the same amount of fun. So make sure to tell me down in the comments. Definitely very curious. Also, please leave a like if you enjoyed this video. It would be very helpful, so please leave a like, and thank you. As well, subscribe, like I said, for a lot more Eternals videos and everything. If you want to see my last Eternals videos where I ranked all the Eternals from worst to best, you can check it out. Link is in the corner. I think you'll definitely very much enjoy it. And subscribe for more content. Like I said, I have another video for Eternals coming up, so subscribe for that and everything. So subscribe. A lot of content coming up. I have a lot of MCU content itself. This Friday is Disney Plus Investor Day, so I'm going to be covering all the Marvel announcements, all Star Wars announcements, and a lot of Disney announcements and everything. So if you're into all that type of stuff, subscribe to my channel. I think this is a great chance to subscribe to and everything. Cover a lot of TV shows, a lot of movies, a lot of just news or casting news or big news that came out of the entertainment industry. So subscribe if you're into all that. And that'll be it. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is JG Entertainment out.